I really rely on a lot of the industry here at the festival to put this list together. And the reason that our track record is so good is for all the kind of comedy whisperers out there. And so the list that the people you're about to meet really reflect who the industry is excited about and who they're really telling me are about to pop. And it's the reason that people like Zach Galifianakis and Maria Bamford and Louis C.K. have been in our list in the past. In the profile, the interview that we did, you were kind of describing almost exactly that same path where it's like, okay, I could fight, to kind of get my way in on a comedy club stage, or I could just kind of do this my own way. Was there some model for you, or did you feel like you were kind of inventing something?
I feel like I was inventing something new. Online, I mean, there are short films, but they don't get a lot of attention. When I couldn't get 5 minutes on stage, I just pretty much took my talents on there, and I just started, creating content.
We were living in Halifax, so we had to make stuff for the internet. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's like...
Oh, is that a law in Halifax?
The Halifax internet circuit.
Oh, you want to stick around, huh?
It's like the Borscht Belt.
Contribute to our YouTube. It's like there was one stand-up open mic per week, and there was no sketch troops, there was no improv troops. And I remember we had a member of our group who was like, we gotta do this YouTube thing. And we were like, shut up, nerd. It's not what we do, but he was right. He was like, things are changing. He felt the sea change somehow.
It's weird when you get a video and then you think it's great and it gets like 12,000 views and you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. I'm really taking it to that next level.
Wait,
and
you get 12,000 views?
Yeah, 12,000 views, dude. I don't want to.
That's amazing.
And then there's like a hamster in a dress that gets like 40 million. You're like, I should just kill myself right now. I don't know how I'm going to do this ever.
You sort of went in at the sort of like ground level on a late night show, and a late night show kind of used to be the way that the biggest audience that a stand-up could get was hoping to book a spot on one of those shows, on Carson or something like that.
I took a job at Conan because I didn't want to be a waiter, basically. I thought if I was working in the business and still doing stand-up every night, that was like, okay, well, I'm kind of working in TV, in a sense. I ended up being Andy Richter's stand-in. That was like the main thing I did, by the way, for real.
Yeah, Barry, tell us about working with Martin Scorsese.
I call him Marty. He's great. He's a great dude. He just loves comedy. He told a story about like how he always wanted to get Don Rickles in a film, and then he put him in Casino, and that he just loves that comedians can improv. I didn't only work with him. I worked with Leonardo DiCaprio, and.
You're developing a web series, right?
I am, yeah. I did
cool,
one with
man.
My Damn Channel, and then I'm doing one with Comedy Central Studios, which we're really excited about.
Mark, do you have ambitions to American television?
Oh.
No, I was hoping to stay here in Canada forever and just sort of have a nice sitcom where I also need a day job 10 months of the year. Just fucking hit that gold mine and don't stop. I think the dream of every Canadian comic is to somehow be Kids in the Hall, where you get to make this thing that's amazing in Canada and makes everyone happy here, and then it also gets sold down there and you actually make money off it.
The question is the migration to LA that seems to be a part of every comic's kind of destiny if they want to be on television. You've kind of been doing the move city to city. You started out in San Francisco, is that right?
I started in San Francisco. I moved to New York about 2 years ago, and I had kind of thought I'd be there for like 5 years before I moved to LA. But then I got a job and I moved there a month ago. If you want to do certain things, LA is a really good place to be, and in some ways a necessity.
Were all of you class clowns growing up?
You weren't?
I was quiet as shit. I was more like that quiet, funny guy.
I was just a spaz. Like, I was really fucking weird.
I was more like a sensitive bad boy.
One of the things that stand-up comics get as they're kind of developing their materials, like instant feedback. They get laughter from a room, and that tells you what's working, what's not. Yeah. When you're online, I mean, views tell you something, but they kind of don't tell you.
Oh, you can get all you need from YouTube comments.
It was weird,
Never read them. I found out I had a Jew face pretty quickly.
Never read the comments. They don't know what they're talking about.
I found out that there's people who would put it in my butt and people who would not put it in my butt.
Usually, like, the last thing we say before we put up a video is just, oh, fuck it, whatever, it's done, and put it up, and we hate it for a while. We just hate it.
My sketch troupe, we made this like super small movie, and then they sent me out on this press tour while I was still going through that. I hated it so much. So every single interview I gave was like, oh, it doesn't have a fucking second act.
That's how I feel right now about the Scorsese movie. I'm kind of like, so over it, It's like, I just want to do the next thing.